So today we're going to be revisiting the BTD6 Birthday Party Quest. This is by far one of the most interesting things and one of the most fun things that they've put into BTD6, I guess, in a very long time. I mean, I remember on day one when this thing came out, I think I spent like almost the entire day playing this thing. And I came up with a pretty good strategy, I think, for the time being, at least because it was day one and I got 200. We made a video on that. I got a score of 200. And so the idea with this video is that I'm going to try and beat that score. Well, actually, this is post commentary because I've already played this. There's no way you can talk and be kind of efficient while playing this, although I could have improved a couple of things in this one, I'm gonna be honest. But again, when you keep looking at the things that you've done, you can always identify mistakes. But yeah, let's just see what happens. Well, I kind of know what happens, but you guys are gonna see what's gonna happen. And ever since I made the last video, a lot of new technology has appeared. Well, a lot of new strats have appeared, and I mean, this thing has become so optimized that I think someone even did a score of like 300, which is just insane. And it was a legitimate score as far as I can tell. So that's just crazy. But we're not going for 300. We're not looking to be super efficient. We're just looking to beat our previous score. And because the way that this HP increases, I believe it was 2% HP increase every time you pop it, the number just become insane. I mean, we're starting with 20,000, but it's gonna go into the millions when we get to these hundreds and whatever. It's like 200 pops, it goes into the millions, right? So it's really insane, and it's really hard to scale after a certain point. So first off, well, actually, let me do this. So what you guys are seeing here is a part of the new technology, because now you can sell these heroes when you back out of the game, and when you enter again, you can sell the heroes for $0. Now the thing is, these heroes they're more of a menace than they're actually helping. I mean, they're all level 7, they're not doing any damage, and it's part of the theme, but you don't want them around because they're just they're just filling out the space that you're gonna need for other towers, and they're also stealing buffs from the alchemist. So it's a good idea to actually sell them. So that's why I backed out. I backed out so that I'm allowed to sell it, because initially you're not allowed to do that. And we're doing, well, actually the strategy is a little bit different now. So we started with the sticky ninja, but what we do now is we're going for the overdrives, and the overdrives are part of this new strategy that people are doing, because apparently it is a lot better than just going for, I think last time I went for the sticky into the eliminator and just pressed the ability a couple of times, and that is apparently not good. And you know, judging by the run, I can tell you guys that it actually wasn't good. This is much better. So I'm going for a couple of overdrives. You want to have these overdrives along the track as the bat is moving. I'm getting the jungle jumps, but this village is actually not going to go to the top path, it's going to go to the bottom path. And this thing that's going to happen in a second is probably the most important thing, and I guess a kind of a surprising thing when you think about it, because when this thing came out, no one was thinking that it works like this. I'm just gonna sell these farms at the bottom, by the way. There's just when these farms are producing money, it just kind of it makes me want to collect the money. I just want to get rid of them. I'm getting this Embrittlement Ice now. This is going to be a super brillo in a second, because this is the way to go. You want to amplify the damage that's coming out of these overdrives, right? And eventually we're going to go for a tag zone. So each pop, let me just tell you what happens with this village, because I started talking about it and I never finished. So this village is very important for one reason only. When you pop the birthday balloon, you get $13.4 thousand. That's one pop. You pop it once, you get 13.4k. Now the thing with the village is that there's this upgrade called the Monkey Town. And the Monkey Town upgrade gives you it's about a 50% increase. I think there might be some monkey knowledge. Actually, monkey knowledge is disabled in this one, but it's a 50% increase in the cash that you get for popping things. And so when you get the Monkey Town upgrade, you get more money for popping the balloons. So look at this. Did you guys see that? We just got $20,000 instead of 13.4, and that is super important, especially for the early game, because as long as the tower that pops the party balloon is below your village, you're gonna be getting a lot of extra money. That's basically the reason why people are getting the temple. They're getting a support temple, and they're getting even the true sun god, which also gives increased cash per pop, right? So as far as the strategy goes, I mean, the strategy is just, I'm buying these druids, I'm getting the avatar of Wrath, I got the tag zone, and we're amplifying the damage with the super brillo. We got the sniper on the right, the cripple Moab, and I also got the glue storm. Now this is the part where it starts becoming a little bit tricky, because there's so many things to click. You have to keep selling, you have to keep buying things, but overall we're very much ahead, at least when it comes to where we were last time. So last time, I think by the time the bat was here, I think I had like 6 pops or something like that, maybe even less than 6 pops, and now we're at like 20. So getting the Pop Plus Druids, this is obviously a very well-known strategy. These guys are insane. They're going to do a lot of damage, and I'm actually going to have them throughout the entire game. So right now, I'm trying to get the Boomer Paragon. Now, this is a little bit of my own mix, because I did this last time, and so I was very happy with the results when I bought the Boomer Paragon. And after you're getting, you know, the Mad, after you get the Druids, and after you get the Tag Zone, I think this is a very good scaling tower. Now, the problem with the Boomerang is that, well, as you guys know, these boomerangs do not get, well, none of the Paragons actually get affected by the village upgrade. So that means that if the boomerang pops the Party Bloon, we're not gonna get the extra cash from popping it, and that's kind of a, you know, that's kind of a meh. You kind of wanna, I guess, stick to towers that can pop the Party Bloon at least in the start, that can benefit from the Monkey Town upgrade, just so you make a lot of money from it. But it's fine. You want to start scaling with the damage at a certain point, and I was kind of happy with this one. So getting the Boomer Paragon, it's a degree 18. I would have liked it to have 20 just because I like these, you know, these even numbers, but it is what it is. It's fine. Getting the Super Bill, I'm going to be moving the Tag Zone now, and I'm just selling this thing because, you know, I'm going to move it at the bottom. And if, you know, some of these towers, like let's say the Druids or whatever's in range, like the Tag Zone, if they get the pop, that's going to be fine. We're going to get extra cash, and if not, that's, again, there's nothing to do about this one. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the temple. I was going to say the TSG, but we're not going to be getting the True Song in this one. And again, the idea behind the temple is, well, it's kind of two things. Number one is you want to have it do a little bit of damage as well, but you also want to have this cash per pop thingy, which is not going to be that effective because the majority of the damage is going to be coming from Paragons anyways, but you want to have it, right? And I'm also making sure that it's built in the water, because when the temple is in water, you guys might know this, but when the temple is in the water and you buy the carrier flagship, the flagship gives extra damage to all water towers, and because the temple is in the water, it counts as a water tower as well. So in all these abilities, I mean, it's only 4 abilities now, but it's gonna become a mess, especially later on when you have to buy all of these towers, you know, for the for the Paragons, and you have to click like this ability bar, which is gonna get insane. It's gonna be a lot of things, guys, and that's one of the things that I'm gonna mention later on. But now let's just talk about the Ninja Paragon. So the Ninja Paragon, as you guys might know, is probably the most important thing in this entire run. So what the Ninja Paragon does, starting from, this is the carrier flagship, by the way, just getting a little bit of attack speed for a temple. And what the Ninja Paragon does is it reduces the HP of all spawned bloons by 25%. Now the 25%, first off, it's an insane number, but for some reason it works on the Party Bloon. And so each time you pop it, as long as you have the Ninja Paragon, each next iteration of the Party Bloon is going to just straight up be 25% weaker. And you can imagine how much damage that comes out to be throughout the entire game, and especially when these bosses are going to, when this Party Bloon is going to have the HP in the millions, right? It's going to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pops just of one iteration of it. So I'm just getting the Paragon. By the way, this also works with the Grand Sabot. So if you guys don't have the Paragon, you could just do that, and that's going to be completely fine. Now next up, this is again part of the new technology that we're getting, and that is, well, it's a bug. You guys might have seen the Wizard Paragon bug, which we're going to be using now. I guess I would have liked to get the Wizard to a higher degree than I got it, but I think it's fine. I think I got like a 28 degree or something like that. Actually, I don't remember what it was, so I'm not going to say. We're going to see what comes out. And this is, how many pops is that? 10. It's going to stop at like 102, 103 pops, just before it reached like the half point, which is, it's not a lot of pops, let me tell you, because I've seen some runs where there were people with like 180 pops before it even reached the first one. So we're not doing that good, but you know, in comparison to how many pops we had last time, this is actually not even a bad run. So at this point, I'm kind of cleaning up. This is a little bit of part of the process, because you know, as the Party Bloon is going, you have to keep moving your towers, you have to keep moving your defenses. So that means selling druids, rebuying them in a different spot, and stuff like that. And okay, let me just, at this point I'm just adjusting this because the projectiles are getting a little bit annoying. This is one of the best features. I should have probably had small bloons now that I think about this, but it is, you can see that. Especially, I think the projectiles are the biggest problem, right? It's not the size of the bat itself. Now when it comes to the money department, we're not doing that bad, but we're also not doing that good, because we are going to need to amp up the damage, and our temple is not attacking. So it's gonna start attacking in a second, and when all of these abilities start hitting, it's gonna be a lot of damage coming in. Now let me talk about this wizard and what's gonna be happening. So first off, I wanted to have the wizard here on the right side, And I was gonna buy it like as a degree 1, but the thing is, it was probably not a good idea to buy it as a degree 1 because the bat was kind of progressing, and I kind of wanted it to, you know, if we were to get it as a degree 1, then we would have had to sell, and that's a process. So I thought, you know, let me just move it more to the left side and buy it properly, you know, get a good degree on it and just be done with it for the rest of the game. So that's why I'm buying all these wizards. I'm kind of, well, at first I didn't know which one was better, so I'm gonna buy, first off, I'm gonna buy the wizard tower, the Paragon tower. I'm gonna have it here next to the temple, and this temple is very nice, not just because of the cash per pop thingy, but it gives a huge discount to all the towers that you're placing, which is again extra cash that you're getting, and something that I absolutely did not do in my previous run. So getting all these wizards to 202, well, at least as many as possible, because I kind of, you know, when all this mess is hitting and you're starting to have a little bit more abilities, it's really hard to keep track of everything that's happening. But the pops are doing nice. I mean, we're at 140. I'm just keeping, you know, and you have to keep moving towers and everything. This Wizard Paragon costs $637,000, and if you guys don't know what the glitch is, well, let me tell you what it is. So when you activate the Wizard Lord Phoenix ability, for some reason, if you activate the ability and then if you upgrade that guy, so the Wizard Lord Phoenix tower, if you upgrade it to the Paragon, then this Paragon, as you guys are going to see here, this Paragon is going to have, it's a degree 22 by the way, but this Paragon is going to have its Metamorphosis ability permanently active for some reason. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to click the button, it's just there. And this increases its damage output by an insane amount. So this is actually a bug which we're using, and it's probably going to get, well, it's actually going to get fixed, but it's a bug that is very helpful in this run, because this thing is going to be doing, you guys are going to see at the end how much damage this actually does. And I have a feeling that this is, if you can get some strong degree on the Wizard Paragon, this thing can absolutely demolish it. I'm going to show you guys at the end how much damage it did, and in relation to the total amount of damage that we're going to do, because it tells you. And you guys are going to see that this thing is just absolutely insane. So next up, we're going for the Ace Paragon. It's one of the strongest Paragons. So we want to do that. We want to be using the ability. And we're at 170 pops. And again, the record that we're trying to break is 200, which is, I don't know, I think we're kind of on par with last time by this point. It's like 3/4 of the way there. The strategy this time is vastly different from last time, and we're also buying different Paragons. We're also going to be moving towers, and I'm a little bit more proactive with just kind of switching up the strategy and thinking about abilities and moving towers and stuff like that. So that's kind of a huge improvement as opposed to last time. So just kind of getting ready for the Ace Paragon at this point. The Boomer is going to stop attacking as well. So we're going to have to move the Boomer in a second, and we're also going to be buying the Dark Paragon after we get the Ace. So that is, when you think about this, it's a lot of money, and that's why, again, why I bought the favorite traits, because the favorite traits increases the sellback value of the towers that you sell, and that is very important when we're talking about, you know, towers in these hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think I'm going to turn it down to like 30% the slider one more time, because it is a lot. Yeah, there it goes. It is a lot of projectiles. I mean, these things are, it's lagging the game, but more importantly, I think it's just the viewing experience for you guys, because I can kind of play with these projectiles being big, but I don't think that you guys can see anything. So clicking all of these abilities, we are at 191 pops, and we still have a couple of Paragons to buy actually, because the game is absolutely not over until it's over. I mean, we're playing to the last second. So here comes the Goliath. It's going to be a degree 20, which is nice. It's acceptable. I would have obviously liked it to be a little bit more, but 20 is completely fine. And yeah, there we go. So we're just going to keep moving this ability, and I'm going to rebuy the Boomer Paragon, because as you guys can see, it is no longer attacking. Well, it's attacking with the Moab Domination attack. It's not attacking with its normal auto attack. So I'm just kind of getting ready for that one. I'm buying the small boomerangs just so we get a little bit of a higher degree. And after we're done with this, again, I'm going to sell this thing. It's a cheap Paragon because this entire game mode is on easy, so these prices are not that ridiculous, and especially when you have, you know, these discount towers all over the place. As you guys can see, we're at 200 pops, so we beat our previous score of 200. It was 200 flat. We're at 202 right now, but how much more can we get? Now, this is gonna get interesting, because this thing is about to leave in a second, And yeah, just getting, by the way, what's the degree on this one? It's 18 again. I was able to get 2 18s, come on dude. And after getting this boomerang Paragon, I'm going for the dart. The reason for the dart is because it simply synergizes with the boomer Paragon. The boomer Paragon gives it a little bit of attack speed, and that's kind of nice. And also, you know, these projectiles from the dart, these juggernaut balls, they're gonna bounce off of the wall, and I think it's a nice spot for the juggernaut, right? So for the dart Paragon. So kind of moving all of these towers. I mean, we have the tag zone at the bottom, so I'm gonna sell it. I'm just keeping the overclocks going, keeping the abilities going, moving all of these super builds and stuff like that. So I'm gonna sell the tag zone right there, and I'm gonna rebuy it, buying a little bit of overdrives, moving the avatar of Rat. I mean, everything that we can do. And this is something that I don't think I cared that much about in my previous run, and I kind of cared more in this run. But this is absolutely overwhelming. I mean, it's so many abilities, it's so many things to think about, and it gets crazy. We can improve on a lot of things. I can just be faster, and that's along with having a good setup. What I realized is that another important thing is to just practice for this thing, because it is just being aware, it's just being alert about the things that are happening around you. So you have to be on time with the abilities, you have to be clicking these buttons, you have to be moving them as soon as possible, and that takes a lot of practice. It's not a hard thing to do, it just takes a lot of practice. And that's one of the things that you also want to be doing, right? So look at these HPs, for example. We started with $20,000 and we are at, did I say $20,000? I meant we started with 20,000 HP, and this thing is now at 1.5 million HP. So that's how insane it gets. So we're gonna improve our score by 21 pops. Actually, it's gonna be 221 that we're gonna end up with. It's just about to exit, and we're gonna do one more. I mean, none of the important towers at least are attacking at this point. So the ninja, the wizard Paragon are not attacking. It's just the dart and the boomer, and there it goes. It's 221 pops. We're gonna end the game right there. If you guys think that that's not a sizable increase, let me just do a comparison as to what happened. So I promise I'm gonna tell you guys about the wizard Paragon. So the wizard Paragon actually did, remember this number, we did 53,905,000. And out of that 53 million, 22 million was done by the wizard Paragon, which is about what? Which is 40%, closer to 40%. 40% of the pops were done by a single tower. That's insane how strong this thing is. But if you think that this is not a good score and we improved by only 20 pops, here's the amount of pops that we got in the last game. So the previous time we played this, we got about 35 million pops. And now we got 53 million pops. And I did the numbers on this, and this is actually a 53.2% increase in pops. So our setup, even though we only beat this thing by 21 pops, our setup is 53% better than it was last time, which kind of goes to show that these percentage increases in the HP are very significant, right? But that's it for this one, the most fun quest in BTD6 by far. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm hoping to revisit this thing sometime in the future again.